Greetings and salutations, everybody. We're back with more Dungeons and Dragons. Hooray!
Hooray!
So yeah, last session, I believe we ended with a bit of a cliffhanger, in which Kali had challenged the undead knight thingy to a duel.
It seemed like a good idea at the time.
I mean, I've seen worse ideas.
No, it didn't.
I'd have too, but I'm still having had a week to think about it.
Yeah, Kali's just throwing down to save the community center, right? That's what we're doing.
I mean, kind of.
Yes. Community center.
The question is, which community center? That's
the one that's run down and nobody goes to because it's everyone in it's been dead for thousands of years. Totally worth saving.
well, like listen. Okay, I have all the faith that this will turn out more like Break-In and less like Dancing It's On. I'm just saying.
Okay, I've watched neither of these movies, which is the good comparison.
I've never
Break-In
seen.
is the better of the two.
Okay. I will say I've never seen the dance one. Break-In I saw like nearly 30 years ago and hated. So.
But here, it doesn't matter. It's still better than Dancing It's On, which is the original name of that movie was East Side Story. Just to give you an idea.
Oh, okay.
Oh God. No. Oh no.
It started. Yeah. I'm not even going to go any further than that.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough.
But-
Anyways, let's move on.
Swiftly.
So when we
How
left
about we
off,
just West Side Story and we just snap fingers at the bad guys while walking menacingly towards them?
Don't even explore. It's not even worth exploring, Eric.
oh my God, no. It'll just turn into the Lord of the Rings movies.
Can it be the
When you're an ent, you're an ent all the way, man.
But
can we just do the Kids Next Door version of West Side Story, which is the only version I've seen that actually entertained me?
Fair. I mean, let's be real. West Side Story is Romeo and Juliet, so like. Anyways, we should get to the game. Right. Let me get to the actual map where you guys are. There we go. So yeah, you guys are outside the temple, and have invited the Death Knight in. Sorry, he's not a Death Knight really, because I'm not going to kill you guys.
Yeah.
That's the goal. That's the goal, not the present.
Yeah.
We're going to call this guy Duke Jerkemoff.
Duke Jerkemoff.
Well, all right then, Eric, if that's what you want. I'm not going to call him that. I've actually got a name, but
Curiously, still voiced by John St. John.
Duke, jerk 'em off, jerk 'em off.
But I actually have a token for him now. So there.
It's just so immature and mean.
Oh, yes.
Have you met Glix?
I mean, yeah. Fair.
has Glix met Glix though?
No, he is not.
Why does Glix know what doo-wop is?
Let me delete the extra copies of you guys off the map, I think.
That sounds reasonable.
All right, I think that's everybody's dupes.
What are you doing that?
D&D, playing
No.
D&D.
Oh gosh, I actively hate all traditional Christmas music.
That is totally fair, Sketch. But
I agree with you. I spent way too much time in retail. So
I got a music degree. That's my
oh
excuse.
God.
if
Anyway.
you know why you hate it, I just have trauma. Okay.
Somebody needs to start playing Father Christmas stats.
I'm not sure why that was as funny for you, Peter, as it was, but I'm glad
Oh
it
no,
was.
no! The thing is, yes, I actually understand why you hate Christmas music now completely. See, oh yeah, music tree. That makes complete sense, knowing what I know about Christmas music. Huh. Anyways, we should move on.
Yes.
So, honestly, there's not a lot to do that, like, in terms of, like, so you go in, you depower the shield briefly, long enough for, the undead knight.
Hold on, we're not doing that yet.
Oh, you're not? What's the plan? Sorry.
Well, because we have a full day.
Oh, sorry, you got a full day. I'm sorry.
Right.
I completely forgot that. That's on me.
Yeah.
I was like, hold on. He said a day.
He did.
Yeah.
He did leave
We
so he
had
could
it-
go. He could go prepare also.
Okay,
Yeah.
so we have multiple magic circles in different rooms that we could power this on, right?
You do.
Okay. Kaya, give me the thing.
Give me.
Just give me the thing.
You already have it.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna wander off somewhere alone for about an hour.
Okay.
I'm gonna have an argument with Bob. The end result is I'm gonna turn the thing into my my hex weapon thing.
Okay.
Okay.
So I
now
can
while you're
summon
doing-
it to myself when Kalia loses.
Okay, so our plan is that I will wield the rod, but
Right.
that you will call it to you if needed.
Things go bad.
That is perfectly acceptable to me.
Makes sense.
You should probably have Glix tell Kalia that that's his plan. But...
I'm telling her that's the plan after I've already enacted the important part.
Okay.
Because I do not want any chance of like stupid things like honor or honesty getting in the way.
I understand why you did that, even though it kind of angers me. I mean, I would have agreed, but I understand why you think I wouldn't have.
Glix has an aura about him. That makes any of his
Alright.
plans feel like they're a bad plan.
They feel like they're a bad plan and exceptionally dishonest, even if they're like, but we're just gonna give him the cookie. But why do you want to give him the cookie? Because it's the right thing? You liar! Why do you want to give him the cookie?
I just like the idea that I get to a point where if Glix says to the camera, like, Cameron, you know what? You're my best friend ever. And Cameron's like, okay, what's catch? What's the fucking catch right here? Anyways.
The goblin who cried charity. No, I'm doing it for good reasons, guys.
No, the orphans need help. We should help out the orphanage.
All right, what are you up to?
They're secretly a cult, aren't they?
No, I wouldn't be helping them if they were.
Okay, how do you plan to exploit these orphans once they're out of danger? What?
They're orphans. They're a bunch of disadvantaged kids. They deserve help.
Is it because the person who runs the orphanage is hot? Is that it?
That's beside the point.
It's like, you say they don't have parents, therefore nobody who care for them. I see where you're going with this now. That's not where I'm going with this.
Oh my god, that's horrible.
Horrible. That's exactly why I would do it. Just kidding.
At any rate, all right. So Glix has done the thing with the thing.
Yep.
Oh gosh, the thing. Anyways,
After Glix has done the thing with the thing, Kalia is going to take back the rod, and she's going to get familiar with, using it, because...
Sure.
Yeah.
I mean, at a minimum, it's a +1 flaming battle axe. I mean...
I'll definitely take that. So.
Hang on, let me actually look this up to make sure I've got things correct with it.
Like I said, I should look up that just to see if
I will drop a link in the chat for you of the actual item, because I figured might as well just use the actual fucking item.
Yeah.
Since odds are you're probably not going to keep it long term. We'll see.
It depends on a few things.
Yep. There you go. Rod of Lordly Might.
I'll just take that. And, okay. Attributes.
Sorry, I'm wrong. It is more powerful than a +1 battle axe. It is either a flame tongue sword or a +3 battle axe.
Oh Jesus!
Sweet zombie Christ. Yeah, are we sure we want to nuke this thing?
yeah.
Want to?
Yeah.
No.
That's
Might
basically
need
the
to.
thing. We lose it if we don't get this dude. If we get this dude, we get to keep it.
Maybe. I'll consider
Maybe.
it.
Yeah.
It is an artifact. That's all I'm going to say.
That's basically like the setup that, as I'm understanding it here, it's like, okay, if you
as
S
I
rank
said, you
this, you
can't
can
use
keep the
all the
cookie.
functions immediately, Nick. That's all I'm going to say.
My assumption is that we're gonna have a heartfelt moment when the artifact becomes sentient and has to throws itself into the volcano to activate the gate, just out of Kalia's hands.
Oh, jeez. My head took that sentence in a different direction when the rod hops onto the fire to feed the starving village.
Oh, jeez.
You know what I'm talking about.
Let's see.
So basically, the passive functions are the ones you don't know about. You don't know about is sort of the long and short of it. Because pushing the buttons, that's easy.
Right.
But all the passive effects, no, you don't know how to activate those yet. That's all. That will take time at a minimum.
Okay.
Because,
see if I can. I'll see if I can add this in here. Then let me.
I have a 2-part question, if you don't mind me.
Absolutely.
First one, Wyrot, do you have anything you do that forces a saving throw?
Yeah, a few things. Yeah.
Okay.
I've got command, bane, yeah, a few things.
Yeah,
So, the general idea here is that we're not supposed to, interfere with the duel, which, you start casting a spell, it's obvious what the hell you're doing. Unsettling words is not a spell, that's just trash talking. Would that fly?
I'm not going to say anything either way right now. You will find out.
Fair enough. That's kind of my plan going into this. I'm just going to set it up so that you might be able to get some effects off.
Yeah.
I'm having flashbacks to Breath of Fire 3. And that one fight.
I know. That's where I've been this whole time.
So yeah, as an aside, you don't get to use the drain life, paralyze, or terrify functions of the rod at the moment.
Okay.
I don't think there's much life to drain anyway.
Well, yeah.
Oh yeah, that's actually extra necrotic damage. He would.
You guys can have that ability right now. Sure. You'll lose it once you leave the temple.
Yeah, see how well that one works for you.
I can't seem.
But yeah, the paralyze and terrify are also things with like yeah.
I mean, I don't think those are going to work on a dead thing because it's dead.
Paralyze might actually.
That's true.
These are magical effects. It is a magical fear and magical paralyze effect.
Right. Well, I can't seem to get this thing to actually go into my equipped hand. So, oh well.
Or you might need to be attuned to it first.
Yeah.
Oh, attunement. Items requiring attunement. Okay.
Yeah. So there should be an area for attunement in your inventory area on the character sheet.
I see that. Okay. Okay.
All right. So is anybody else planning other things ahead of time that I should know about, or that you want to role play out, or what have you? You guys.
I'm also going to make a banner over where we're planning on having the fight that says "Get fucked, dead boy."
There was a thing about Cameron wanting to possibly share some of the details about the notes.
Absolutely.
With Cedo, but we could do that after the duel.
That is fair.
It's basically up to Wind/Cedo as to when they want to play out the conversation.
I think afterwards would be better, and beforehand, Cedo actually wants to have a conversation with Kalia.
Fair enough.
If anyone has any business that they want to settle first, by all means.
Can't get it to equip properly.
I
mean, I can equip it, but it doesn't show up in my actions page.
For under attacks.
Yeah.
It may. Check the It might. You have to check the item itself because you might have to actually have it show up under attacks, possibly.
Okay, I'm under inventory. I've got the rod selected.
And there might be like some options in there that you can manipulate to have it show up in other places, because that might be another option. I don't know off the top of my head.
Does that have a square next to it in your inventory?
It's got a triangle to say that it's attuned.
And
there's a square that I do have filled in to say that it's active and equipped.
Okay.
All right.
It might just be because there's got so many functions.
It also may not be interpreting. There may not be like an immediate interpretation of it being a certain form, right? Because it can be more than one form, so it doesn't know which one to account for.
Okay.
So what you might to simulate, you might want to just add a +3 battle axe to your inventory.
Yeah, do that
and just use that as the basis for it.
That would be basically the weapon forms are +3 battle axe, +3 spear, or flame tongue sword.
Okay, I'm just gonna add a +3 battle axe.
There you go.
To my equipment here, and then we'll just have that be the thing. Okay, battle axe. Okay, battle axe +3. Fair enough. We'll just use that.
That will be mechanically what it does for you most of the time.
Yeah.
I imagine the fire is probably not going to be that big a deal in this particular battle. So. Okay. But yeah, she'll start like practicing with it and stuff, and just like get used to, well, this thing's weighted differently and stuff. So.
Yep. So Kali is practicing with the axe. And if Sita wishes to talk, this is a time to do so.
All right, so during the middle of all of the practice, Sita will just kind of slither over and just kind of observe for a few minutes.
All right.
Is it an interesting course of action you're taking?
I suppose it is. Although, I don't know in what way you mean.
Perhaps I misread the situation. But we have the solution to the problem that was presented to us. Yet you opt to not take it in favor of a path that would potentially allow us to retain something while putting yourself and everything else at greater risk in doing so.
Yes, I suppose that it does seem that way. The item itself is not important to me. It would be potentially helpful to have, but I was always willing to give it up. When first we set up for it, I imagined that was what we were going to be using it for, purely for the completion of this mission.
Of course.
But when I matched eyes with the knight, I understood that there was a reason that he was there when we arrived and when we returned to the temple. There's been a trial set before me, and I am willing to take it up.
Now, I'm not a follower of anything in particular, so I couldn't speak to comprehending this trial that has been presented before you. But would it not suffice to resolve the matter through, let us say, cunning, rather than force of arms, to simply have this subject of opposition be in range of the barrier when it reactivates, would that not destroy it just as well, with less difficulty?
She shrugs. I know only my way of doing things.
Hmm.
There's something that you must understand about me, and the way that I serve and look upon my God. In life, there are people who think as you do, and there are many who do so for good reasons. But there are many more who take the clever approach because they believe that they can corrupt and cheat orders that are in place that would serve to protect more people because they wish to get ahead, because they wish to escape their eventual fate.
Achoo.
Mm. I have no hatred in my heart for everyone who does this. But I have seen enough people who take this approach that have harmed others because of it that I have no wish to follow that path myself. This is my way of doing things. This is my test. I will take it how I feel it is best for me to take it, even if that puts my life at greater risk. However, anything that you or our companions can do that will ensure the success of the mission, regardless of whether or not I am able to carry out this task myself, should do so. Because that is your path.
I suppose it makes an amount of sense where if you feel that you are being tested, then you would actually want to test yourself rather than shirk about it. Make as much of a show as you could in your own way. I suppose that makes a certain degree of sense. That being said, while you have your way, and I imagine it will work fine enough for you, I have no reason to doubt the results that I anticipate. I would say that it does seem to be a touch inflexible to always shirk a more thoughtful methodology. Had we not done so, then we would have had a fight with pirates as opposed to being able to simply bypass that whole matter and have several villages pleased with us. Just keep your options open, I think, is what I'm saying. Time and place.
I do understand you. However, for this time, for this place, I'm afraid that I have to be as inflexible as I have ever been.
Mind, I'm not discouraging you. I don't think you're necessarily wrong in this case. Besides, being irritating is more my task than yours. I will let you remain overbearing instead.
I don't really see the difference, but all right.
He'll kind of smirk in that kind of like, you know what I mean kind of way. And will just kind of pull out her her harp and just start strumming it. And that's it.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. All right. Anything else that wants to be dealt with before the thing?
I have one more thing I want to do.
Excellent. Do it.
Kali is going to, at some point later in the day, approach Injir.
Oh,
All right.
okay.
You're probably meditating at some point,
Okay.
thinking about his encounter with the red dragon.
Hmm.
However brief it was.
Oh, actually, hang on. Give me a couple minutes. I need to look up something in the campaign document.
You need a link to that?
Yes, please, actually. Yeah.
Oh, there it is. Oh wait, that's
Great, okay. Damn it. Let's see here. I might just have to make up a name. Okay.
if it's an important character name, it's going to be at the very start.
It's not a character name. I was looking for location names, which it wouldn't be locations we've been to, basically. So.
Okay. So while you are looking that up,
Okay.
yes, Injir is indeed in meditation, considering the oddness of his adventure so far. In that, not only has he come into the presence of these divine beings, which is odd enough in its own, divine avatars, but have also encountered several real life dragons. Okay, 2 real life dragons, but still.
One was a
Most
touch
peop-
grander.
Yeah, one was a touch grander, but still, 2 is more than most people ever see. And live to talk about it. He's very much just kind of having this like profound realization. Okay, there is definitely something going on here for me to.
By the way, that does depend on where you live. If you live in the
true.
Dragosian Empire, the Emperor is actually a dragon.
Also, you got to keep in mind, I'm pretty sure people in Jacksonville have seen dragons, but, no one believes them.
Here's the thing, though. How often do you see the Emperor?
Portals.
When it's a dragon, it's hard not to notice it.
Yeah, they're not subtle, to say the least. Unless they want to be. Then they can be, but usually they aren't.
Yeah, normally they don't bother being subtle.
I'm just imagining like this, almost like Jabba the Hutt-esque dragon being drug around on a giant palanquin around the city, just like 100 people carrying it.
But
all right, I think I got it.
But regardless, he's having a lot of like inner thoughts about this. Like, this isn't normal. This isn't something that most people are ever going to see. And he's kind of like, it's not so much feeding his ego, but he's finally coming to the realization that, okay, maybe something special is happening here. To me.
All right. At that point, I guess Kali will come up and she'll sit nearby and wait a bit because she doesn't want to actually interrupt the meditation herself. So
Just hard strumming over there.
yeah,
Yeah, Injir doesn't so much open his eyes, but when she sits down, he does speak up. He's like, I have great admiration for what you're doing here. There are
Really?
a few people that are willing to test themselves so thoroughly to hold themselves to the commitment of their values in a way that would potentially kill themselves. I did not. I don't know if you have a dragon in you, but if you did, it would be great.
I consider that a high compliment. Thank you.
It is the highest of compliments.
All right.
Just like, actually, it's the best compliment.
And you will treat it as such.
How are you so small and so extra?
Well, the extra small is a thing. Usually we call it the kids menu. Anyways, sorry.
But you seem to have something on your mind.
Yes. I have a great favor to ask of you.
He opens his eyes, he looks over. Ask.
As I approach this battle, I do not fear death because that is the way of my order. We are trained and made to realize and fully accept the possibility that in any adventure, with any task that confronts us, death could eventually occur for us as well as for those that we deal it to. I came to peace with this a long, long time ago. However, in accepting this possibility, I must also accept that life will go on without me. So, should the considerably likely thing happen if during my duel I should be killed, there is a temple of my order on the outskirts of Kardul. It is near a kingdom called Greystone. In that town, if he should still be there, there is a smith's apprentice named Darin. I would like it if you are able to return from whence we came, if you happen to be going through that area, if you could find him and let him know what has happened to me.
Very simple and honest request. I will, of course, oblige should our paths go that way. Or even if we just come nearby, I'm sure we can make time for it. But you should not expect defeat. You are here. And he kind of raises his hands and looks around. You are here in the temple of your god, wielding the power of your god and the artifacts of your god. This is a convergence of destiny that cannot be ignored. And he just kind of looks at her. It's like, you cannot possibly lose. The story would be too heartbreaking.
She kind of looks at him and just kind of like smirks a little bit. And she opens her mouth. And then she shuts it again. Angier, I believe that a great destiny is in store for you. But I believe as well that there are many changes that you will encounter in your being, which even you do not yet foresee, on your path to becoming a dragon. And I think that when you become it, you will realize many things that you could never imagine now. One of those things being that destiny had very little to do with it. And with that business taken care of, she's going to stand up and start walking off.
He just kind of nods and goes back to his inner meditations, considering what she has said.
Okay. All right. Anything else, folks, that people want to resolve before we get to the evening? Or to the next day, I should say.
There are conversations that Glix needs to have with Bob. They don't even have to happen during game. So
okay,
but that seems like a good time to do those.
Okay, well, what would you like to do?
Like they don't have to happen during game, but like story wise, he would be talking now, so we could move on if we want.
I mean, it's up to you, Eric. If you want to do something with Bob, we can probably work something out.
I was just thinking like the notion of this conversation with Bob happening while Glix and Cameron are playing cards, and Cameron just sort of like shaking his head, listening to the band from the side.
No, seriously, I think we can negotiate. I think it's a good. It might not be a bad idea. I mean, she's a fairy. She's got to do what she says. If she makes the promise, then that's the promise. And we can negotiate to get you out of the fucking cleaver after I'm dead.
How many cards are you holding this time?
What? Huh?
How many cards are you holding this time?
5.
Okay, then.
What I want to believe happens is that he's so hideously distracted during all of this, he can't cheat at all, but he still wins. Like, when he stops cheating and stuff, he plays better than he ever has before.
We can roll opposing sleight of hands check to see how that pans out.
If you'd like to, go ahead.
Sure.
Let's do it.
Skills, there you are.
Yep. Come on, you have a good chance. Yeah. There you go.
Well, all right then.
During all this, Cameron's just saying, Glix, this acting distracted game you're doing here is actually working better than you realize. You should do this more often.
Wait, what? Oh, yeah. Oh, wow. Bob, we need to do this more often.
I'm not even forcing anything. You're just getting straights every time. What the fuck? Anyways, continue with your probably important but incomprehensible conversation there.
All I'm saying, Glix, is that even if everything she's saying is factually true, she's lying to you.
Well, yeah, she's a fairy. That's what they do.
I know you know that, but I'm not sure you're considering all the implications of that. How do you think I ended up in a goddamn cleaver?
Because you cheated on her, you dumbass. You told me this story.
Yeah, but I had contingencies. And she lied about certain...
I like to imagine that conversation with her and involving that cleaver was just like, all right, I'm going to do one or two things with this cleaver, and you got to pick which it is.
Either you're going in it, or...
Anyways, yes.
But, like, I mean, what's the worst that can happen? She like doesn't like the shit we say, and we're back at square one. We're back to doing what we're doing now.
Glix, did you just say what's the worst that could happen in relation to Granny? Did you really just what's the worst that could happen?
Okay, fair. Oh, all right, fair enough. Yeah, that was a mistake.
Just say it.
It could be raining.
Just remember, with her, it can always be worse. She likes finding ways to make it worse.
She does.
It's her favorite thing.
It really is. So we have to deal with her like directly, because the dude can say whatever he wants when he's speaking for her, and she won't have made the fucking promise.
No, you have to talk to her directly. That is,
yeah.
And that
means we actually have to find the bitch.
How the fuck did he get 3 pairs out of 5 cards, Glix?
What? Huh? By accident, actually.
Like, just continue on.
So what we got to do is if we're gonna find her, sorry, go ahead.
It's 2 numbered face values, and then also 2 suits are the same. There you go.
Yeah.
You see, this card has a 4 and a 4 on it, so it's both a 4 and an 8 at the same time. Okay.
I see. So
plus, these 2 kings are stuck together.
So if we're gonna find her, and it looks like we're gonna have to, if you really want to do this, you're gonna have to take precautions.
Yeah, I'm just saying it's like not a terrible idea, and we can look for the information. Like we like.
Oh no, Glix! It's a terrible idea. It's just not the worst idea. It might be the best idea, best option we have, but it's still a terrible idea.
Yeah, no, it's a shit idea. But at least it's not hot, steaming, runny shit.
I mean, fair. It can in fact be worse, because it can always be worse.
It can always be worse.
Like turning her down.
But cut this hand! What the hell?
What the? That's a. Okay, so you have a 4 of a kind and a 3 of a kind in your hand at the same time. That's not even a full house. That's bigger than a full house. It's a fuller house. Anyways.
It's a terrible is that an Olsen?
Oh, God. All right. Glix, you know I'm on board with you just in general. But you got to be careful about this.
Right, and you know her better than anyone. So...
Sadly, that's the case.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, have some backup plans.
Oh no, we'll get some plans. Like we'll figure some shit out. Like I said, you know her better than anyone, and like we can always find out more shit. Like worst comes to worst, we can use our whole like secret deal against her, where like, because if we find out like enough stuff about the gates, then we can just use her like. We could parse out each secret for our wish. She has to do that.
Maybe? Just remember,
I don't see anything wrong with this idea.
Her wishes always come with a cost.
Yeah.
Just be careful, that's all I'm saying. Don't fall for the problem that people like me tend to fall for. Don't go for more power than you can comfortably swallow.
I mean, pretty much all the power I've ever gotten was by accident, which has been pretty great. So,
and that's been one of the few things on your going for you about this sort of thing, dude. Intentionally seeking out that kind of power tends to get you in trouble.
All right, I'm going to call you on this one, Glix. Okay, Ace of Spoons. We're not even running with the spoon suit on this set here. This is
that's not a spoon. That's a spork. Look at the suit.
Yeah, we're doing a 5. We're only doing 5 suits, not 8. Gosh.
Right, and and one of the suits is the suit of sporks. That's a spork. It's just the thing's a little scuffed.
See, that's the issue, is that for some reason Cameron is actually dealing Glix a tarot deck. So it's like, oh man, I got a royal flush, and also I'm going to die in 7 days.
Here, Death, the Hanged Man, the
Royal
Tower.
Road.
What kind of suit is this?
So, okay, Glix, I got one other thing to ask you about for your plan here.
Okay.
How many heads am I going to be able to take?
Oh, we're good. Are you kidding, dude? Like, we got at least 5 years to murder our way across the continents. We'll be fine.
All right. I mean, yeah. I gotta get me my sip. You know that.
Oh yeah. Don't worry, your cup will runneth over.
Excellent. All right. I mean, hell. I mean, it doesn't get much worse for me, other than like what it was before, where I can't talk or see anything.
Right, and like, gotta say, it's a little weird knowing you're watching everything, but
yeah,
you get used to it.
Yeah, I am.
I'm trying to watch everything here, but you can't. You keep on pulling this shit, Glix. What the fuck?
What shit? You dealt the hand. I ain't done nothing.
Listen, you're probably hiding stuff in your hat. You're always hiding stuff in your hat, aren't you?
That's beside the point. There are no cards in my hat. I pull off my hat and like a whole bunch of other shit fall out. No cards.
I'd still half of those things are probably cards in disguise, Glitz. Okay. You've dealt with fairies. I can't trust a single fucking thing on you to not actually be a card that you've somehow made look like something else.
Well, I guess if you cut the dice really thin, they could be cards.
You got a shape-shifting weapon. Why don't you use that to do something useful, like, hide cards in other objects or something?
Yeah, Bob. Why don't we do that?
Because that's not killing people.
Oh, yeah, okay. He's got a thing.
I see. Well, I'll also just say this, maybe you should get really good at like throwing cards at people. Then you can have an excuse,
Oh. Yeah, you see, Bob? You hear that? That's a possibility.
But why don't you just throw me as an axe?
I could do that too.
See, that's more fun and more blunt trauma. Well, it's not really blunt trauma. It's cutting trauma, but more trauma.
Anyway,
trauma's good. I like trauma.
Yeah. So yeah. So anyway, it's just something we got to talk about, Bob.
Yeah,
and, we got time to figure it out.
Yeah, all right. I'll put some thought into it. See if I can think of.
It's 5 years. That's like 10 years.
Don't ever change, Glix. I'll see if I can think of any openings that you might be able to think. In the meantime, you do some research on your own too. We'll see if we can figure something out.
Yeah,
I think you're right. We may have to take her up on this. But dude, get it in fucking writing.
Yeah. No worries.
She won't want to.
I'm still.
Well, of course not. She's a fairy. You make her tell anything straight, she just sort of gets that face, and like it's even worse than her usual face. It's just like but it's a face.
But it's funny, man, when she does it.
It's really funny.
Cameron will just a little chip in and say like, "It's amazing how someone who can't count can count cards like you." Okay.
I can count fine. It's spell I can't do.
And he's also pretty good
As the caster.
Yeah.
Listen, warlocks can't count. That's why they have so few spell slots. Okay. That's the.
1, 2.
They can only count by how many.
2.
They count by how many limbs they have. Okay.
1 Eldritch Blast,
3.
2 Eldritch Blast.
Hit level 11, you're like, 3. I found a new number, guys. This will revolutionize mathematics. 3.
Man, Discworld trolls are better than you are.
Many
1, many 2, many 3, many 1, many 2. They just count base 4. That's all. Anywho, all right. Is there anything else, Eric you want to do?
Nope. I just wanted to make sure Bob and Glix had that conversation.
Okay, good. All right. Anybody got anything else, or do we want to roll things forward?
Unless anyone has any particular business with Cameron, we can roll forward.
All right, let's roll things forward then. It is night.
There will be a brief thing where Glix, like before things start. So we're totally gonna fuck this guy up if he tries anything, right? Or if he doesn't try anything, we're just gonna kill him, right?
I mean, you'd want to fuck them up regardless.
Yeah. But he's not walking out of here. I was gonna say alive, but he's not really that. He's not walking out of here intact.
I think that was actually the plan. Yes.
Okay, cool.
I mean, I'll put it this way, Eric. If he does beat Kalia and you are able to acquire the sword and power up the circle, he's kind of toast.
Yeah.
Engineer's very much like, this is Kalia's test, and her word was that if he defeated her, she would not interfere with his attempts to enter the temple. We made no such agreement.
I mean, I'd
So-
be dead anyway,
No,
so
no,
it doesn't really matter
agreement
what
was
I
that-
agreed.
what she
to or
agreed
not
to was
do.
that if he kills her, he can take the rod off her dead body.
Yeah,
Right.
for corpse.
But if
Yeah.
the rod's not on my body when he reaches for it, then that's not on her.
Well, no, you're
Yeah.
dead, and you're dead at that point. So whatever.
Yeah, and I'm dead. So
Yeah, like you didn't. What is going to do? Bring you back from the dead to chastise you for breaking the rules?
oh, she would hate that.
Oh, that would be the worst.
He
You're
would
like,
never
I hate
do
all
that.
this.
I can literally see like Kalia's soul just like sitting over her body trying to get back in. Like, what the fuck? I need to yell these people.
I just like to think that like Zombie and Kalia would just be like actively hating it the whole time.
Oh,
Like,
yeah, I would.
She does the thing, but she's like, I hate you. I hate you. I'm just letting you know I hate you.
That's nice. I don't care that you hate me. You can't disobey.
Yeah, that's how undead work. Yeah.
I'm still gonna shit talk you even if I'm obeying you, fucker. I mean, sir.
Sir, have you heard the term malicious compliance?
Actually, I have, and I think it's hilarious.
Anyways,
yes. So, it is more evening passes. It is morning. You do other stuff, and it rolling around time when the duel is supposed to happen.
Cool.
And you can hear the approach of the undead army coming up to the edge of the barrier. They stop a bit further back than last time because, well, they're not idiots. At least, not the ones that are sentient aren't.
Their commanders are not idiots.
Yeah. They may be arrogant, filled with hubris, and have overinflated opinions of their own abilities. But they're not idiots. Well, not all of them. Some of them might be. And the one from before strides forward, alone, to the barrier.
If I may announce, Duke Jerkamoff, His Eminence.
that's really the best you got.
I mean, spent all
I,
night thinking
Lord
about it.
Maxerix, am here to answer your challenge, Paladin of Mortis. Let me in.
Sorry, Lord Maximoff Jerkamoff.
The
Maxi
goblin
Jerkamoff.
thinks it's clever, doesn't it?
He does. He does think that, yeah.
I am
Yeah.
very clever.
I mean, he's also right, but that's beside the point.
All right. I guess we'll take the time to very, very briefly lower the portal so you can come inside.
The barrier goes down. He strides through. Basically, as it goes down, he sort of turns around, holds his hand up to the army, and then strides through. And the barrier comes back up. Ooh. There is still some power here.
Singly, huh?
He sort of shrugs. Very well, let us head to where it is you wish to hold this duel.
All right. She will make a motion with her arm, and we'll start to lead him into the temple.
All right, as you head in, I would like everyone to give me a perception check.
Okay.
Septatron. Doop, doop, doop.
On my character.
Ooh, nice roll, Kalia. All right, Cameron rolls an 8, Kalia rolls a 20, Cedar rolls a 10, Glix rolls a 13, and Injure rolls an 11. All right, Kalia, because even if you'd rolled lower, you'd gotten this because of your knowledge of this shit.
Right.
And Glix, your DC is lower, and you rolled just well enough with the lowered DC to notice this as well. There is something funky going on with his shadow. You detect that there are definitely some things moving around in his shadow at the moment.
I
Both
see.
of you. Other thing, Kali, you notice that there is definitely some sort of weird glowy light, sort of ball of light that seems to be hovering around him, sort of just out of sight in general. Which you are fairly certain is a will-o-wisp, but you're not sure.
All right. Well, I'm going to stop.
Okay.
I'm going to look at him, and I'm going to say, I believe that I invited you inside.
Ah, well spotted. No, this is merely to ensure that your friends do not interfere in our duel. And he gestures, the will-o-wisp detached and floats out. Two sort of specter-like beings emerge out of his shadows. And he sort of holds up a skull that catches a flame and starts hovering. Let's continue.
Hey, Bob. Remember you saying something about making, like, dogs like that? He says, looking at the shadows.
Yeah.
We gotta figure that out.
Yeah, them are undead, just letting you know.
Okay, so they're not, like, fiends. Okay, cool.
No, those are like, those are like, I don't know if they're full-on specters, but they're something like it.
So you're saying his shadow had shadows in it?
Yeah, actually. Honestly, it's kind of clever.
Yeah. We definitely got to figure that out. That's
oh,
a good
yeah.
one.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
Question: what are the automated defenses of the temple doing?
Yeah, I was thinking about that.
They are currently they are giving you all a wide berth. They understand what is, for some reason, they understand what is going on and are not interfering.
Okay. All right. Enough.
Almost as if something is telling them not to.
All right. Well, I think Kali will actually observe this, and then she'll just kind of like, just kind of shake her head a little bit, but then just say, very well.
All right. I will move you guys to the room that we are using, the map I'm using for the room.
Before we head in, Engineer kind of looks at the automated defenses, like makes a motion to like his eyes, and then points at the army outside, sort of like keep an eye on that.
I mean, that's fair. All right. I'm going to pull tokens out for you guys in this room. Wrong thing. Here we go. Boop. 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 And a boop.
While we're on our way into the temple,
Mm-hmm.
Kalia is going to kind of, occasionally be looking over her shoulder at Maxerix.
Mm-hmm.
And she's going to say, so you have a name?
Of course I do.
Just told you the name. It's Maxi Jerkamoff.
When did you obtain that name?
It's always been my name.
What do you mean by always?
I was Lord Maxerix in life. I'm Lord Maxerix in death.
So you can remember your life.
Of course.
Was it your choice to be made this way then?
Honestly, I do not remember. It has been quite, that I do not remember. It's been quite some time.
See,
I will say that I am not displeased with it now. There was a long period of slumber that I'm aware of, in the middle of this existence that I now have. So it is good to be moving around again. I do not know why I and my brethren awoke, but it is good to be moving again.
Whoa. How recently did you awaken?
Fairly recently, even by the scale of mortals, a mere few years, I believe. Been moving and reaccumulating and rebuilding an army to appropriately serve my needs and desires. It has taken some time, and then I discovered this barrier and this temple.
And so, in order to serve your own needs, you had desires for the power within.
Yes.
So they are your own desires that you fill, not some master who created or resurrected you.
As far as I'm aware, they are. I freely admit it is entirely possible my free will is an illusion. Though that is always the case for everyone, I believe. I just choose to believe that
For
it's
you.
not.
Look at the skeleton flexing his high wisdom there.
Yeah, his philosophy skill is high.
So you remember your name.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember anything else from your life?
I remember elements of the nation I once ruled over. I remember the fall of my capital. I remember my army being destroyed in battle. I remember my head being taken by the ruler of the opposing nation in a duel. And then sometime later, I remember rising and rebuilding my army of my former followers and sacking his city and adding it to my army. And attempting to continue doing the same, and then another long slumber. Much, much longer. He shrugs. I made mistakes in both both in my mortal life and in my last attempt at conquest. Mistakes I do not intend to make again. But I also recognize that I may have to gamble in order to achieve what I wish, and this is something of a small gamble. I do not deny that you have a chance at victory. You are a paladin of Mortis, and I am what I am. If you had no chance, it would not be... Honestly, if you had no chance, this would be far less interesting than I think it will be.
I suppose that I should take it as a compliment that you see me even having a percentage of a chance.
It was intended as one. It's not a large percentage of a chance, but it is one. It exists, yes.
That's strange.
Hmm?
When I asked you these questions, I was simply trying to gain some information about what might be the real purpose of your being here. But now that I understand how little you understand, I feel an amount of pity for you.
Yeah, I've heard that one before. And it may even be true. Well, I believe we're approaching this. I am sensing something from the room ahead. Is this the room you were planning on holding this duel in?
Yes.
Very well. Well, my servants will not interfere unless your allies do.
They understand what I am trying to do here.
Very well. All right. He will stride up to the edge of the circle. I would like everyone to place themselves where they're going to be when we roll initiative. I figured that's where Glix is hanging out. Am I correct?
Yep, just leaning against the door jamb.
Fair enough. So just so you guys know what is what in this room, the gray things are pillars. They are columns from the floor to the ceiling. Then there are a bunch of smaller magic circles around the big magic circle in the middle.
Okay.
Since I imagine we've had time to poke about with things, do the smaller magic circles mean anything in particular, or are they just like extra business for like
they are basically
thing?
They're basically the conduits from whatever power's fed into the circle to feed to the rest of the temple.
Okay, all right.
They're circuitry, effectively.
Right.
All right, we're going to.
The longer, by the way, that I speak with Maxerix.
Yep.
Can I make an insight check on a couple of things?
Absolutely. By the way, Cedar, where are you putting yourself?
I'm considering that right now.
Oh, fair enough.
All right, it's only a 9. My passive insight is 14.
Okay, well, 14 then. What are you trying to figure out?
First off, if he's just, if his general story is like sounds like he's actually being,
He believes. It seems like he believes it at least.
Okay. Secondly, is he actually just going to let these guys just watch unless, my guys start interfering? Like,
you're not actually sure.
Okay.
He's not. Your gut feeling, like, you don't want to believe him because,
May I insight?
You are absolutely welcome to do so.
You guys are there, yeah.
Ooh, 17. He seems like he's not... Okay. It seems like he is...
Oh, here you go, Injure.
Injure, yeah, okay. Injure is 100% sure of this, but, yeah, he is not lying about what he is saying is not false. The question is what he considers interference.
Well, and also, like, he might not be planning on it right now, so... All right.
I just want to make sure things are spaced at an appropriate thing. All right, now, hang on, let me get the... there we go, turn order up. All right. Everyone should roll initiative, and I'm going to roll for all of the baddies also, so...
Right. Just so we don't have to do it later. If
exactly.
It comes to that.
Make sure I am actually selected.
Oh, good.
I wasn't selected. Damn it. Even though I just moved. That should be an 11. Wait. This time I was selected and it didn't add me. What is this?
The roll didn't post to roll 20. You might... Yeah, that might be the reason.
That's the third one I've done. Shame that's not the one I get.
Pardon me.
All right. Okay, he rolled well.
Ah, shit. Oh, well.
The subtly named Flame Skull rolls.
Skull!
Flame skull.
It's almost like it's a skull that's on fire.
Wait. So does the fire have a skull, or is the skull made of fire?
Yeah.
What does it even mean?
Oh my god! I did not realize what the initiative bonus on the Will o' the Wisp was. God damn.
Oh Jesus!
I mean,
willows are quick.
Oh yeah. Well, they are small and nimble.
Zippy, right?
Zippy, yeah. Oh yeah, that's a high dex.
I just imagine like someone sitting down with the flame skull and flame skull behind. Yeah, so I consider myself like to be a pretty deep and contemplative person. Yeah. So a lot of people don't understand why I chose the name Flame Skull, and you gotta have read the right books in order to get all the references and.
Yeah. Listen. I've read The Fountainhead, and by read I meant I burned it. I burned it in a fireplace.
A good use for the Fountainhead.
I just assumed that he was a flame skull because he was blazing 420.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. All right, everybody's rolled.
Yeah.
Yep. I wish I had somehow rolled higher than a 21, but I can't. So.
Yeah. All right. It is the first turn of combat. Injure. Are you going to interfere before things even start?
I like how Injure is taking this long to consider the option.
I mean, it makes sense.
Yeah.
Ash?
Are you muted?
I am muted. Okay. Yeah, Injir is not interfering, but he is keeping an eye on that flame skull because he is a little suspicious of why it's standing there on top of the magic circle.
It's just floating there it's just floating there bobbing along.
You say that.
I do say that.
That's all you can determine. So
yeah. It doesn't have any body language I can interpret.
No facial tics.
It can't. It's not Murray the Skull. It can't scowl. So.
This is true. All right. Lord Maxerix goes.
Oh dear.
1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. All right. Great.
I was really hoping that 18 might give me a chance to.
Yeah, I know. I'm sorry. All right. So he is going to do two things. He's going to do a bonus action and then a standard action.
Fair enough.
His bonus action is he is going to give Kalia a chilling gaze. This is something I could not figure out how to code into the thing. So this is a ability that recharges on a 4+. It is a bonus action. Actually, sorry, 5+. And until the end of next turn, he has combat advantage against you, Kalia.
Okay.
Sorry, he has advantage against you. Now for his action, for his standard action, he is going to use his other recharge ability that takes for fucking ever to recharge because it's on a 6. He's going to use Hellfire Burst, which they've massively toned down version of what Death Knights can do. Like
I saw that. I saw that roll earlier, and I was like, if he could do that, I'm not going to be able to beat him.
Yeah, no, that's not nothing. It's not that nowhere near that good. All right. He fires off barrage of Hellfire bolts in a 40-foot burst centered on him.
Ooh, jeez. Is that going to actually hang on? 1, 2, 3, 4.
Hang on, we're all in range of that.
Yes.
40 feet. Holy shit.
Yep. It's a big area.
That's like the entire room.
It is.
Okay.
He targets. He can target every creature he chooses.
Okay.
Okay.
So he could choose to not be a dick, basically, in this moment.
Yes. And he's choosing not to be at the moment.
Okay.
No one's interfered yet. So, Kalia, it's just you.
Okay. How badly am I cooked?
Oh, well, you get a DC 13 dex save to take half damage from this.
Okay.
No, that's a typo. There we go. It is a 4d6 fire attack.
All right.
Oh, okay. That's not roll.
That's thank goodness.
Fush.
All right.
Yeah,
All
no,
right.
he is not incinerating everybody yet.
It makes a big show, though. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, no. Bolts of fire erupts out from him, and Kalia takes 9 fire damage.
Okay.
And he is done for the turn.
Okay.
The flame skull bobs merrily over the magic circle. You hear a slight cheering chuckle coming from it.
Fire! Fire!
The will-o-wisp darts about in the area it's in menacingly, somehow. It's a small little orb of flame that sort of darts about trying to confuse you, though it's not actually doing that yet. Now it is Kalia's turn.
All right. I'm going to whip out the Rod of Lordly Might, and I'm going to click the button and turn into a freaking axe.
Mm-hmm.
Sklink.
Oh, that's a nice sound.
All right. Okay, here we go. Let me make sure I'm choosing the right thing here.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I'm going to use my Oath of Enmity.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I get advantage against him.
Nice.
And I don't think I need to do anything with this. I just get it.
Nope. No, you have it for a minute. It's not a concentration. You just you have advantage on all attacks against him for a minute.
That's fucking awesome.
Yeah, he stepped within 10 feet, so I can just do that. So
he did not. He knows what paladins are. He doesn't know everything they can do.
Yeah. And also, he doesn't know exactly what I can do. All right, I'll step in, and I will do my full attack action.
Fair enough. Because you are level 5 now, you get multiple attacks.
Flunk. So, all right, so 17.
That's a dexterity. Yeah.
No, that's
okay.
17.
That's not a good
that will
attack roll for
actually
me.
hit.
Oh,
That's encouraging as hell. Okay. Second attack.
Mm-hmm.
That's only a 13.
That will not.
These are not good rolls that I've just made. So, that's 4 rolls in a row that are 8 or less.
17 will hit him
Jesus.
exactly, as an aside.
Okay. All right, so I will not burn anything on this then.
Mhm.
I'm just going to hit him with the +6 on the roll. So what? Why did it do that? Oh, because that okay. Wow, I rolled minimum damage, so 7 damage.
All right.
Yeah.
I was confused because it had the 2 results, and I was like, why did it do
Versatile.
it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a battle axe. All right.
chunk.
Your axe thuds into him, and he sort of impressive. Glix.
Yeah, get him.
Fair enough.
It's
Cito.
adorable.
Hey, Glix, shouldn't we just like start chopping something to pieces?
Oh, we got a plan.
But chopping things to pieces is the plan.
It's going to be hilarious. Don't worry.
Aw. Somehow that's very precious to me.
Cito.
Cito is going to observe, and she's basically just going to start hurling insults of a mundane variety. She's not trying to hit anything. She's basically just prodding, seeing if anything is going to kind of like
Okay.
make an opening for that, like she can get into.
Okay.
I might also be peppering, mundanities, so that if I actually do something of substance,
It's less obvious.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yep, fair enough. That is fair.
Let's see here. Like, what can I think here?
Okay.
I'll come back to me on that one.
Okay, whatever. Cameron.
I'm not getting anything at the moment, and I don't want to hold things
Cameron's
up.
just observing.
Cameron's just observing. Fair enough. Spirit Servant. They stalk about, they pace back and forth. Well, pace. If they have legs, they pace, but they don't. They sort of float back and forth as they're pacing menacingly. They look impatient. Round 2, Injir. Bing, bing, bing.
Injure is just gonna hold his action in reserve in case something actually happens.
All right. Lord Maxerix. All right. First thing first. All right. Chilling Gaze
That's a
recharged.
Yep.
They
Oh
both
my
recharged.
god.
Well, he's not using the Fire Burst at the moment. Because he's got other things he wants to do this turn. He is going to multi-attack.
Okay.
One of his attacks will be with Life Drain. The other will be with his Greatsword.
Oh, that's not good.
Life Drain.
So I make a Constitution
DC 13
against-
con save okay. So let me read the full description. You are taking the 8 necrotic damage.
All right.
If you fail the save, your hit point max is reduced by the amount equal to the damage taken, and he heals that much.
All right. Great.
By the way, your max will reset when you get a long rest.
Okay. There we go.
He neither heals nor do you have your max abilities. Oh, also, if you are slain by this attack 24 hours later, you are raises those zombie under his control.
Okay.
Cool. Oh man, career change. Nice.
Yes.
And now he'll swing the greatsword.
Okay.
What I like the most is that
That's
he's
a miss.
And he misses with the greatsword, which is probably for the best.
he's such a non-discriminatory hire. Like anyone could be part of his thrall. It doesn't matter where you come from. He'll accept you.
Oh no! As long as you're undead, he doesn't really mind, and he can make that happen for you.
Amazing.
Oh, you're not undead yet? That's okay.
The Flame Skull continues chittering in amusement.
A fine swing, a great swing for a great sword from a great fool.
The will-o-wisp floats about. Kalia.
All right. I'm going to cast a spell.
Okay.
I will cast. What is it? Fuck. Hang on. Do I even? Wait, do I still have that? Hang on. Oh, there it is. Okay. Divine Radiance.
Aha.
So that is a concentration thing,
Okay.
but hey, it's a bonus action I can use. So
Fair enough.
all right. So my axe deals an extra 1d4 radiant damage on hit.
Okay.
Until that ends.
That is
which
fair.
will last up to a minute. All right, here we go. Come on. Wah! 17.
You hit exactly again.
All right. All right. I'll do the
Oh,
damage.
I forgot to
on
give him
this
advantage on
first.
the last roll. Whatever. I don't care.
Okay. Well, yeah. Oops. I accidentally closed the window. Hang on.
I forgot. I'm not going to go back and give it to him.
All right. Here's the regular damage. And
Ow!
Nice. 13 plus radiant damage, and I don't know if that makes a difference, but but just to let you know. All right, so an extra 2 radiant damage.
All right, so that's a total of 17. Ow!
Second attack.
Yeah, hang on one second. I'm doing my math here. Is that right? Yeah, that's right. Ow.
Okay. I think I might know what I'll do next, but let's see if this will work. Second attack. Blah.
That 27 will hit.
Yeah. I'm gonna pop something on this.
Not a crit.
You're gonna pop a device might, huh? Maybe.
All right.
Yeah, I'm gonna put a crit on that.
Oh, is that a crit?
No, but I'm gonna put a
Smite on it.
I'm gonna smite on it. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna convert it to a crit.
I wish I could.
Yeah.
It's not really. It's not really worth me doing my reroll on.
That's fine.
I don't think so. All right. So here's the regular damage. Foot.
All right, 14. That's really good.
And here is the radiant damage.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm literally just not looking at it so that I don't change the fact that I'm using this up.
Right. All right,
okay.
3 more, and
There we go.
Jesus Christ.
So,
okay.
Actually, quick point.
That's already a
3d8.
damage, by the way.
Because you're doing it against an undead, it gets a bonus d8 to the damage.
Oh, yes, it does.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay. I have to do math here now. Fuck.
You're welcome, Dick.
Well then, can I give Kalia my
33 plus
Fury
whatever
the
the radiant
Small
is.
All right. So, I'm going to have to cheat slightly to make this not anticlimactic.
Understood.
Because that would have almost killed him from the get-go.
Phase change.
Oh,
change.
there was going to be a phase change anyways, so, all right.
Yeah.
So, yes, I'm going to treat it a little bit differently than, okay, so you drop him. He collapses to his knees. Flame erupts up out of his body as he screams in agony and terror. And rage. The undead servants all get this feeling of a little bit of, they're a bit nervous.
Oh, dear.
All right, so a couple of things happen. First thing, you remember that Hellfire Burst thing he did?
Oh, yes.
That goes off automatically.
Understood.
Oh, good.
So, and that it is targeting everybody. He has no control over this.
Okay. It's just going
It's targeting everybody. It's targeting all non-undead.
The dex save, right?
Dex save, DC 13 dex save. And I'll roll the D. There we go.
Oh, good job, everyone.
Good job. Yeah,
dodgy.
okay. 18 for Injure, 20 for Cito, 20 for Glix, 11 for Cameron.
I was leaning against the pillar. I wasn't like,
You were not ready.
No,
You're
I
just
was
like, oh, yeah, just like a duel to the death happening in front of me. Ho hum. Oh, shit!
This is very ho
Seven to
hum.
all of us.
Yep.
I'm fine. It goes off in my face.
Yep. All right. He rises back to his feet on fire, and back at full health.
So this could be bad for me. I'm down to 9.
Oh, sorry, bloody value. That's my bad. I misread my notes. It is not nearly that bad. All right. And all right, that is so it's 30. Nope, not 0, 30. He is now sheathed in flame. And his armor class is slightly better.
Okay.
And yes. On the plus side, you do not take passive fire damage for being adjacent to him.
Good, because I would potentially drop right now.
Yeah, no, that's fair. In addition, he yes. So he now remember that chilling gaze thing?
Uh-huh.
He has that permanently against whoever dropped him.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah. That is it for Kalia.
So,
Please rephrase.
so
That's it
question.
for Kalia's
So,
turn. Yes,
Thank you.
Injir.
should we take half of that 13 if we made the save?
If you made the save, take half. Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah, you
so
take
you
six.
take 7.
You guys take 6, except for Cameron, who takes the full
6.
13.
Oh, is it 6? I
Six.
thought it was.
Yeah, it's round down.
Round down.
Oh, okay.
down.
I'll
Yeah.
change that.
Yeah, it's weird because like this battle, he's been outrolling me in everything except for damage rolls.
Yeah. Well. Yeah. All right.
Yeah,
Well,
of course. Mouth.
Glix, it is your turn.
Does that count? Can we hit him now?
Yes.
He did attack you guys, so
All right, then I'm gonna pop the wisp. Then
All right. Go for it.
I'm going to hex the wisp,
Okay. The wisp is hexed.
and hey, how's it going? Gonna stab you.
Wisp.
oh, it's like a Pokemon.
They don't make noises, as far as I know.
Oh,
It just sounded like
That
you were
misses.
saying this. Its
misses?
dex is too fucking high.
the 18 misses, huh?
It does.
All right, well I got another swing.
That's fair. That also misses.
Wow, Bob, you want to go and fight things? Well, now we're fighting things. Maybe you want to hit it.
It's really small, Glix, and very dodgy.
I'm going to venture a guess that probably they don't have incredible hit point totals, hopefully. So.
All right. Sito, you're up.
In this moment, I am having regret because I could have done something and I didn't have the foresight for it. Grr.
Fair.
Hang on real quick. Let me just do this. I don't know if that means that I can hold on to my
you
concentration.
hold on. You do.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, you only
So
took you only took what was it, a 13?
Yeah.
So that'd be a DC. That's below DC 15. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because it's either half the damage or 10, whichever is higher.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, okay. So
So yeah, it won't exceed DC 10 until you take more than 20 damage in a hit.
all right.
More
all
than
right,
20.
then
More than 21 damage in a hit, actually.
my axe
22.
is still glowing. Okay, got it.
More than 21, which 22 would be. Your axe is still glowing, yes.
All right.
Yeah. In theory, his phase change should have happened when you bloodied him, and
I kind of went past that.
You said him way negative, so I'm like, you know what?
USRW'd his ass.
Oh yeah. Oh no. That was well done. But I felt that'd be a little anticlimactic. So as I said, I'm going to give him his
Oh
phase
yeah,
change.
no. Like I won't be happy if Kalia drops here, but the way that it was built up, that would have kind of sucked. Yes, that's fine.
Yeah, I also wouldn't have wanted to one shot him, have him one shot you either.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
All right. So what's Sito up to?
All right. So, first things first, gonna cast my first level 3 spell. It's Healing Word.
Aha.
Oh, thank God.
Fair.
Oh, sorry. Thank Mortis.
Yeah.
All right. So, man, okay, so I rolled shit on the primary die, but I got in 3s on each of the succeeding ones. So that's 11 points for Kalia.
Okay.
All right. And following that, seeing as how the Flame Skulls are really hard to hit.
Well, the Flame Soul is different than the Will-O-Wisp. They are two different monsters.
Yeah, it's the Will-O-Wisp. That's the problem, not the Flaming
Oh,
Skull.
that's what.
That's
Yeah.
what I was fighting. Yeah. 'Cause I'm on
Okay.
the other side of the table, the room from you.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
Will-o'-the-wisp, flame skull.
I see. So seeing as how that's being a nuisance, and I don't quite have, a gauge on how well I can deal with that from over here, I'm going to follow through on the insults, and now they're just going to be a little vicious on Lord Maxerix over there.
Sure.
Your hat is dumb and you have poor fashion taste.
He's not even wearing a hat.
Oh.
Actually, he is technically. He's got a crown.
All right, so that'll be 6 damage if he does not make a 15 whiz save.
All right. Lord Maxerix will attempt to make his wisdom save. He has magic resistance, so he gets advantage on his saves and throws against spells.
Oh.
21 will succeed.
And lucky for him, piece of shit. Oh well. The more important thing here is Kalia not die.
Oh yeah. That is fair.
Did more than double my current hit point
Yeah,
total.
that is.
So.
I'm very happy that the magic resistance actually worked on that.
Yeah.
I don't care if it doesn't work again going forward. It worked once. I'm happy.
Yeah, I getcha.
All right, that's it for you, Cito?
I don't think there's a better position for me to be in than where I am right now.
That is totally fair. Cameron.
Okay, so what Cameron's going to do for moving, he's going to tactically slide here. He's gonna,
fair
to help Glix out a little bit. That makes sense. There. Beyond that, though, I'm trying to think of the best sort of solution for what to do. Now, here's a thought. The bad lord is targetable and able to be attacked by Cameron, right?
Oh, sure, if you want to.
Yeah. He is. Let's see here. Trying to think here. What is the trying to think what is the bigger concern for Kalia, whether it is saving throws or armor class for defensive purposes. I'm going to.
It's kind of hard to It's kind of hard to determine right now, considering he just went second form and we haven't seen what he can do yet. So
yeah, that's true. So Cameron will try to do the defensive thing. So he's going to offer a defensive command towards Kalia and has to attack the Lord Maxerix in order for this to work. So
that's fair.
That's a crit.
Oh, you crit!
Jesus fucking Christ! All right. Well,
all right.
That's what I was trying to get.
Fair.
Yeah. So Cameron does 10 damage on Maxerix, and Kalia has a +3 to AC against attacks from him until the start of my next turn.
Fair.
Does he have resistance or anything to non-magic whatchamahoozits?
Cameron's weapon is always magical damage unless I specify that it's accurate.
And the answer to that is yes, he does.
Okay.
Yes. So, yeah, Cameron has his armor piercing round on, armor piercing mode on, as opposed to
he does have a somewhat lengthy list of resistances.
Right.
So that actually stung probably a little bit there.
Oh no, it did.
And for Cameron's second attack, he is going to try to assist Glix by doing an unbalanced foe against the Will-o'-wisp.
Fair.
And that is going to be with advantage because of flanking, tactical. Cameron will miss. That will be it for the time being.
All right.
So, no action surge usage yet.
Spirit servants go. Spooky. Conga line.
Yeah. You're pressing. You're pressing anyone with that shit there. Just go ahead and give your best shot, huh?
All right. One attack on Cito. It attempts to use Withering Touch on you.
Oh.
I actively dodge.
7 misses you, which is good because that was a lot of damage.
I actively dodge.
Well done. On Cameron, this time it has combat. It has advantage.
Yeah, sure. See if I'm going to be impressed
Which
by that.
won't matter because it does
By
not roll
that.
well. They don't have a big modifier because they are definitively the weakest monster here. All right. That is it for the spirit servants. Ingir.
Oh boy. Ingir's very angry right now.
I don't know why.
I mean, listen,
Why would
Cito's
you be
going to
angry?
look at Cito's going to look at Ingir, look at the flame skull. Can you go that thing down?
I can start on that. Ingir just hops over there with the hammer and begins
hammer
dropping the hammer. Yeah, begins dropping the hammer.
I was thinking the cold breath might be a good plan.
I smash
breath.
it with my hammer.
It might be, but at
If
the
it's
same
tiny and
time-
dodgy like the will-o-wisp, that's my concern.
My only counter to that is
Ingir's
that
silver hammer.
my
Bang bang.
the only thought I have in turn is that
Though he's not named Maxwell.
the breaths don't do a lot of damage on individual targets. That's the thing.
I
So
really need to hit like at 2 or 3 or more targets for it to be worthwhile.
It's same rule as AoEs.
Suspect this as vulnerability is why I make the suggestion.
We
Well,
don't
he
know
can
it
do
has vulnerability.
Well, and if it does, then he could do flurry of blows with cold attacks anyway. So
Yeah.
Or whatever. Like, I mean,
Mm-hmm.
if this thing does have vulnerability, the magic hammer is going to be the best option anyways.
All right, well, roll to hit.
All right, so let me click on that. So here is the first one. Oh, I clicked the wrong thing, but
Oh, there you go.
27.
That's a hit.
I
All
hope
right.
so.
All right, and then we'll do damage.
It is not that dodgy. It is not that dodgy. All right, takes 8 damage.
Takes that damage from that, and then I
Bonk.
will hit the correct one this time because I get 2 hits
Fair.
now.
15 will also hit.
Nice.
Takes another 10.
Gonk.
These are not. This thing is not particularly dodgy, and you will see why in a minute. Assuming that Ingir doesn't just explode it, which is technically possible.
Ingir just exploding it is usually what happens. So let's do the flurry of blows. What are the options I have?
Other options, what to do with your key, or
Actually, wait. That's actually a good option. A good thing. I'm going to try on that second hit that hit
Okay.
since it's most. And I'm going
Stunning?
to clear that a stunning strike.
Okay.
got it.
So it
Yeah.
needs to make a 14 save.
Okay.
What is the-
What is the effect that it happens if it fails?
Oh, it's a con save?
Stunned?
Stunned. It is immune to that.
Is immune to stunned.
Yep.
Well, I didn't know that when I did.
No, of course you don't. No,
But that
you
is-
find that out now. Bonk. It
doesn't care.
It does not care.
It no sells it.
All right.
It,
so-
it is.
still
It has
flurry
a.
of blows.
It has a. This thing has a list of resistance and immunities that is surprisingly long,
would
which
not
helps
be
make up for the fact that it's
surprised.
got crap AC.
All right, and then we're gonna try and do the standard flurry blows. So I
Okay.
can still do that.
All right.
So that is another key. I get a knock off,
All
and
right.
then we will go
All right. What type of damage are you using for these?
for these.
Yeah.
I'm debating it. I'm actually gonna do regular hit because I have a feeling this might be kind of like Phantasm-y, kind of like the Will-O-Wisp over there.
Okay.
And that means that they have a lot of resistances. Sometimes just going straight in with the regular attack is the best
Okay. So
option.
it's going for straight punchy damage. Fair enough.
Straight, yeah. All right, so there's the first one,
That'll hit. Yeah,
and then here is the second one.
I'm gonna see if I'm gonna bother doing anything. All right. The second misses. You finally missed. You rolled a 1.
Yeah.
All right. It is now bloodied. Oof. Ow. All right. But yeah, your punch, the bludgeoning punches seem to be working. So,
There we go.
all right, Maxerix is up. Well, it does not need to do that. So, as bonus action, it is going to fire off his burst of fire.
Mm-hmm.
So, everybody make their saves.
Wait, he's just getting that like every turn now?
Yes.
No. Now it has to recharge. It went off for free when he phase changed.
Oh,
And
okay.
also
He recharged.
And he still has to recharge from last time.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. It'd be nice if I could actually make this one. I do.
Okay. Good.
That's half damage. That would be
7.
7.
What is the thing we're going for here?
DC 13. So
Okay,
injure,
so
you
I
take the
take
full
15.
15.
Why did
All
my
right.
health not save? Hang on. So I have just on that.
And now
25.
he will attack you, Kalia, with his sword. Well, he's going to do his multi-attack thing. He's going to attempt to life drain you also because, he needs to heal.
No,
Yeah.
don't do that.
Life drain first. Wow, he missed. Oh, hold on. He gets a reroll.
Don't
He's
do
got
that.
advantage.
Don't.
That still misses. Wow, that's a pair of crap rolls.
It
Yeah.
is.
All right,
That's how
great.
I felt last round.
Yeah, fair enough. And wow, he misses the great sword
That's
too.
also a miss.
Damn,
Yeah.
he's rolling
But
poorly.
Kali's defense AC at the moment's like 21 right now, 22.
I mean, even
This,
ignoring that, like he's rolled really poorly.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
That battle rage is not doing anything for his accuracy, I guess.
No. Okay. Well,
It's
That
nice
is-
to have 20 AC occasionally.
no, yeah, totally. No, fair. I'm like, oh well, I was expecting more hits out of that, but that's fine.
I would have been okay with taking one of the greatsword hits, but
Yeah,
I'm glad that I'm just happy one of them missed. Honestly,
yeah, fair.
Does he do the recharge at the end of his turn
Start
or
of
the
turn.
start of his turn?
Started.
Recharge rolls are start of turn.
but he doesn't need to recharge them now anyway.
Yep.
So
All right, the skull of flamingness.
Or, well, no, he does need to recharge the flaming thing. And
Yes,
there's a
he
very
is,
low
yeah.
chance of that. There was a really low chance of it recharge. Who knows if it's second form, if it's more likely.
I'm not going to say yet.
Yeah.
All right.
Well,
the skull
I
is
hope
going
I don't
to
give you a
disengage.
chance to.
All right, so that's its action.
No, that is they can do that as a free action
I don't know.
No.
That's good to know.
because it is tiny. And what does it want to do? That is a question.
What's the contemplate its existence?
Well, it's debating between casting a spell or using its native ability.
Whatever it wants to do, we'll be proud of it. Just saying. Do whatever it wants.
I'm seeing if any. Oh wait a minute. It used it. Sorry, that was it's effectively it's disengaged as a bonus action, so it does not get to. None of its spells will work, and I don't think any of the spells are bonus actions anyways. I think they're just standard actions. I was like, let's see, can I combine a spell with its gaze attack? And the answer to that is no.
Can I mix peanut butter and chocolate?
I mean, you can.
Make a dessert.
I don't know why you would, though.
The real question is, can you mix peanut butter and herring and have it be a dessert?
Ew.
I'd be more willing to
That's a
willing
move.
to try that, actually. So
Sadly, blur is
Sadly, you can't.
blur is a standard action.
Well-
Ooh, that would have sucked.
Sucks to be the sucks
Oh,
to be
I
the
forgot I
flames.
had that. Okay, fine. It's going to multi-attack.
All right.
So it will use its fire ray twice.
Okay.
It is going to
Oh,
Besorch
geez.
Injure. It's going to Besorch Injure twice. Let's be real. It's annoyed.
Oh, okay.
Well, at least it's
Laser
not
eyes.
fire.
That is a miss, I think.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
How's that? How about that 15?
that's a miss too.
Oh well, all right.
It has to be 17 or higher.
7. Damn. All right. Foosh foosh. 2 beams of fire come lancing out of its eyes and miss you. It is no longer chittering in amusement. It seems irritated.
Well, yeah, it just has bell rung like 15 times.
Yep. Oh yeah. All right. Will o' the Wisp's turn.
I knew you'd come.
Can it do anything particularly interesting? No.
Please say no. Please say no.
Well, it can move where it wants without provoking opportunity attacks, so. Actually, does it want to do that, or does it want to just... Who is it going to go after is the question. It doesn't like being sandwiched, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
So it's going to do that. It's going to attempt to shock. It's going to attempt to shock Glix.
Does it provoke?
It does not provoke when it does
It
this.
does not provoke.
It's very specifically does not.
Yeah.
Hey,
Fair
16.
enough.
Actually misses because I have a shield now.
Oh, god damn it. Okay, so you do not take 9 lightning damage as it tries to shock you.
I'd like to think not.
All right, that's it for the wisp. Kalia, you're up.
Okay. I'm just gonna reposition.
So yes, he is
Are you
currently
there?
wreathed in sort of flames that seem to be flickering between red and almost like black. There's sort of a weird evil aura about the fire that's surrounding him at the moment.
Are you there, Mortis? It's me, Kalia.
All right, I'm gonna do the attacks first.
Fair enough.
Before I do a potential thing here. So
Fair.
here we go. Hata! 24 to hit.
24 will hit.
Good. And then
His armor class does not go that high from the buff.
All right. Second attack. I'll just do this first.
Okay, yeah, get that out of the way.
25.
Well, they both hit. All right.
All right. Okay.
Air combo.
By the way, Kalia, each time you hit him, you take this much necrotic damage.
I'll take it. Okay.
Ooh.
Okay, I'll take it. I'm fine.
Yeah, every time he is struck by someone within 10 feet of him.
Okay.
Nicely done, Cameron.
Being outside the range, yeah.
Yep.
All right. Okay, here's the damage.
Okay. Yeah. Oh dear God! That you don't need anything else that drops him.
All right.
As I'm swinging my axe around, I'm going to say,
Fuck you! No.
no. She is like deathly calm right now, actually.
Mm-hmm.
And she is going to say, something tells me that you have been longing for that rest that you were awoken from. I can't say that for certain. But regardless of what it is you want, I know that this is the way things need to be for you.
Oh, I'm sorry. Do you have any? Oh, you got the radiant damage on the axe, so he's dead.
Yeah.
I misadded. I was like, wait, no, that's a 8 plus 11.
Yeah, I can add that. I can roll that too if you want me to. So
if you need to do 1 more point of damage.
there you go.
Yeah.
I didn't even realize I rolled a 1 on that.
That's
Sorry.
amazing.
This is shoot to ladder rules. You need to hit light exactly 1 damage. That counts as 2. Sorry, it doesn't apply.
No. He's not dropped to 0. He's dropped to -1. That's not the same thing.
It's an integer underflow. He's at full health again. Oops.
Oh,
This game is not that badly coded. He has not gone past negative max int.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and she is going to take up the glowing, burning axe, and she's going to huck this thing through his neck.
All right. Well, as you're doing that, he's basically like, it's very clear he sort of weakly sort of tries to stab at you as you're taking him out. But he's like, yeah, fine, I'm gonna try. If I'm going taking you with me, oh fuck. No, not
Dibs
taking
on the
you with
hat.
me.
Dibs on the hat.
All right,
Is that
and
really what you're concerned with right now?
You take his head. When he collapses. Hang on. Fine, let's do it this way. Poof, poof. Those two disappear. The wisp decides, fuck this noise, I'm leaving. Oof. The flame skull says, "No, master!" and starts firing flaming rays off, kind of almost randomly, until one of you basically puts it out of its misery, which won't take.
Let's see. Okay, let's
Everyone roll attack rolls. Whoever rolls highest.
Whoever rolls highest in their attack roll can put it down. That I like that.
Yeah. Okay.
Cam rolls a 20. All right.
All right, let's see here. Come on.
I am not partaking in this, by the way.
That is fair.
Okay,
Indir does it.
Just because I want to say that I did this, because like I had this thought and then I never really had the opportunity to do it. Cito's going to throw a wall of water in front of it to dampen the fire and make its shots like not hit people effectively.
Okay.
As the water is up, you just see this shadow behind the water, and it just we got it with the hammer.
Yes.
Nice. Yeah. All right. Splat. All right. That was useful information for me for future.
Thank you for participating in this survey. What?
All right. Well, yeah, you have taken Lord Max, taken his head. He's he is defeated, but he is still sort of kind of technically alive.
Oh, okay.
He's sort of like, well,
there's enough there to do the ritual.
This is awkward. I'm honestly impressed.
I want your hat.
You always want other people's hats, Glix.
It's a cultural thing.
I can hardly stop you.
Awesome. I take the hat.
All right, you take the hat. It's a heavy golden crown. It's very shiny.
Very shiny. Goes in the backpack.
By the way. Okay, sure.
You were going to say something?
Nope.
Okay.
Not yet, at least.
Shiny golden crown, probably very expensive.
I can hardly believe that Glix did something in his past that made an ancient, super powerful witch want to fuck with him forever. I can just hardly believe that a guy like him, who never does anything insanely stupid and kleptomaniacal, I'm not sure what the actual...
Listen, I don't see what everyone's getting mad about. It's a crown. You put those on.
No, not you! The person who it belongs to puts it on!
I mean, it belongs to him now.
Listen,
Cameron, I was gonna say, Cameron will just legitimately look at him, put a crown in the bag, and just like, dude,
Yeah?
dude.
What?
That belonged to like an undead dude, man.
Yeah, which means it's worth more.
Yeah, if you can. Well, I don't know. I don't know. I've just read stories about like undead things using specific items to imbue themselves either with power or to allow themselves to come back if they get destroyed. Just saying, I wouldn't trust anything that an undead person has on their person.
Fine, I pull out of the backpack and put it in the circle. Do the thing, then I'll take the crown.
Yeah, that'll work out. Kalia will put the axe back into a rod form, and she will toss it over to Glix. And then she'll look down at what remains of Maxerix.
Mm-hmm.
And she's going to, partially in exhaustion, but partially just to be, to like get closer to him, will kind of kneel down. And she's going to say, "There has been someone who has been wanting to meet you for a long time, Lord Maxerix. Let me help you to meet them." And then she's going to put her hands on his body and is basically just going to like inject radiant energy into him until his body's destroyed.
Okay. Woof. The body has been disintegrated. I assume you're going to activate the magic circle at some point.
Yeah. While saying, I will say the word or whatever. To
Fair enough. Yeah.
Channel it in.
I want to be sure. All right. He sort of looks, the head sort of looks, says, this is going to be, oh God, why? As the head sort of collapses inwards and you see sort of this flow of energy sort of soaring into the circle, flowing out to the circles around it and then into the rest of the temple.
That undead's last, like, image, it just sees the hand of Mortis coming down and hears a voice, I've been waiting for you.
Oh God, why? Yeah. Somewhere out in the temple, racing through it, a will-o'-the-wisp is snuffed out as the barrier is repowered.
Yeah, screw you, you little.
I'm gonna get her. I'm gonna get her. Poof. Well, fuck.
Now I stuff the crown in my backpack.
Okay. It's still
So that when he regenerates, we'll be stuck inside the void of my backpack.
It is still very shiny.
And it's
Yes.
so, Cameron just sort of like rolls his eyes. Well, at least has been given a run through the sanitation chamber, I guess.
Yeah, it got all purified and whatnot. That's what that thing does,
that's
right?
totally what happened there. Yep.
Yeah. Besides, maybe it's magic. That means it'll be worth even more.
Because apparently nobody else is doing this. Injira's going over to make sure Kalia is okay.
Oh, she is beat the fuck up.
By the way, Kalia?
Mm-hmm.
You hear in your head just a very quiet voice saying, "Well done, Kalia. You pass."
She's going to, when Injure comes over to her, is actually like crying. Like, not sobbing, but like just tears going down her face.
You're just making sure she's okay. He doesn't really say anything. He's like, holy shit, is there something stuck in her?
Did you stub your toe?
He hasn't quite realized these are like tears of joy. These are like, he's just kind of like, oh, maybe she's got something in her and it really hurts.
Her body language is actually that she's absurdly relaxed right now, despite the fact that she is charred and clawed at by deathly energy and stuff, and also just bleeding. So,
yeah, Cameron will walk over towards Kalia, giving his gun a little spin and holstering it before saying, well, good work, Kalia. Sorry if I was doing a little bit of interference there towards the end, but things started to escalate more than I was expecting.
I believe that the closed nature of our duel was broken off by my opponent, so I take no offense to it.
Did you want to keep the stick?
The what?
The stick.
Oh.
Bob's going to get jealous, so, you know.
If you're going to keep it, don't tell Bob you're keeping it, because Bob will hear and get really jealous that you have a cooler stick. Bob didn't say it's cooler. I'm just saying that Bob thinks it's cooler, because that's what Bob thinks.
Shut up. Shut up. Do not think that. Don't speak for me.
Just put it away for now. I need to.
Okay. Bob's annoyed that you're right, Cameron.
That was more me speaking out of character than in character, but you wanted to be in character? Go for it. That's fine.
I want to take a nap.
You've earned it, to say the least.
Yeah, you got the bad guy.
We can clean up any of the mess around here. You just focus on you, Kalia, all right?
Mm. She'll pull herself up to her feet and kind of go staggering off somewhere to go collapse and patch her wounds.
Cameron heals himself up a little bit and
I'm gonna go check outside.
All right, you go outside.
And Cameron will peer outside with Glix afterwards, yes.
You notice something. A sizable chunk of the undead army seems to be marching. Okay, so there are three things happening with the undead army. There are three separate sections. There's the section that just sort of seems to be quietly collapsing to the ground and falling apart.
Oh, I guess.
Awesome.
There is the part that was not granted. That was not directly raised by him. That is now marching away. There's half that group. The other half, the very mindless part, is charging fruitlessly into the barrier and being disintegrated by the barrier.
Ah, I see.
So there's about a third of the army is just walking away.
Huh.
Well,
they seem to be walking in the direction of that temple that you saw earlier, Eric. Remember that one? That building,
Vaguely.
the one that your magpie scouted out.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, they're going to the other temple there.
It's sort of temple building. You're not sure what it is. It sort of had that. It had sort of
ziggurat.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, it had sort of a ziggurat-y feel to it.
It must have been a big lot in its prior life. Got it.
All right, Mister. Everything was modern back in my day.
Listen, why wouldn't it be? But secondarily,
don't be ridiculous, Skitch. It was an S-Mart.
Oh, good, good.
Sharp smart, sharp as smart.
All right, so yeah, you have vanquished Lord Maxerix and have dealt the undead army a fairly crippling blow, honestly.
This is going to be a really trying off season for them, but they'll find a way to get back. You know.
Maybe Brady
still
will
come back as a
retire
wild
this year.
card.
Maybe Brady will retire and then we can win the division.
But Cameron will then just give Glitz a firm pat on the back there. Just like, well, I think we're one step closer to getting off this island at this rate, hopefully.
Yeah, I mean, between the gate we found at that university and what's going on here.
Well, the volcano is probably going to be the more important gate.
Yeah,
the one of the university. Yeah, the one of the universities is probably not big enough to do what we need to do. But
what we need to do is go off the island to back to civilization.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So what does size matter there?
Well, okay. So let me think of the best way to describe this. So if you're cooking something, if you have a small pot, you can get it warm, but it gets cold pretty quickly and it can't hold a lot of stuff in it. But if you get a big pot, it can get hot and stay hot for a longer period of time.
So so what you're saying is the bigger the gate, the more power it can handle? The longer it can stay charged?
Yeah, that's my presumption, yes.
So that's what you think, but that's not something you know for sure.
I can only assume. I got to read more over these notes that were made back when, well, the people at the university were actually researching this stuff. But both the gates.
I'm going to want to take a look at those too.
Yeah. Just if anyone wants to take them, they're gonna have to kill me first. Just saying.
I'm not looking to take.
I'm not saying you are. I'm saying
I'm not gonna steal from you that you would notice. I'm gonna.
One, you're a terrible liar. Two, I get what you mean. Three, it's not that I don't trust you in that way. I don't trust you in other ways, but I do trust you in this way.
Dumb to trust me all the way.
Listen, for what I could surmise from your inane chattering during our card game, yeah, we're dealing with entities from the Fae that are very duplicitous, and so I'm just cautious that they might be monitoring us at any given time when it comes to that. So that's all I'm saying. But for me, the knowledge these contains is part of what makes them valuable to me. Karen pulls out one of the journals. It's, like I said, it's a something that is a signal of, or a vestige of my time. It's I want to find as many of these things as I can.
Yeah, I'll help you out there, and not just because it'll help me out, but because I can. So yeah.
You're not allowed to do things because you want to. You can't say that. It's against the rules.
Yeah, I can.
I'm making up just right now.
Besides, when have I ever followed the rules?
Got you there.
Trying to think. The camera just thinks a little bit there. I mean, there was that one time.
Well, yeah, because like we were winning, and there was no point in breaking the rules then.
Exactly. So, all I'm going to say is this: I've already said before, I'm just kind of skeptical about how things are happening now, and
yeah, no, shit's gone all fucky.
And
which is a goblin term, which means fucked.
I see. My thought is why the heck would these Fae all of a sudden be interested in the gates now? They've had however much time to worry about it. What is it about either the time or you that makes the gates of pertinent importance?
I mean, they're fairies. They sort of like decide I'm going to be obsessed over this for the next century or two, and they'll just pick it at random.
But I don't know. It still seems too coincidental.
I mean, Cedo seems like she's trying to find some stuff about the gates too, but hey.
Yeah, there's that too. This whole thing's just weird. Anyways,
it's weird and it's dumb, and we killed a bad guy, and Kalia needs, like, I don't know, a sausage or something.
Well, listen, I've already promised Kalia that you'd clean up the room for her. Listen, I already promised Kalia that you'd clean up the room for her, so you better get on top of that, Glix, because I don't want to look bad.
And making you look good is definitely what I'm going to do. Yep. I'll wander off in the opposite direction, take a piss.
All right, Cameron will then just resume cleaning up the space that the fight took place in any case.
Fair enough. All right. Yeah. By the way, Skitch, did you want to do the thing with Ceto?
If Ceto wants to do it, then yes. Otherwise, maybe.
Ceto doesn't have anything else to do other than wait for everyone to get going.
Okay.
Yeah.
Whilst you guys are doing that, seeing as I'm not going to be involved, I will go and take said piss.
Okay. Fair.
But yeah. Cameron will be working and cleaning up the space. If Ceto happens to wander around the area or is in the area, he will move over towards her to begin discussions. Unless Ceto wants to approach Cameron about anything. That's fine too.
I think Ceto, for the sake of expediting getting everyone moving again, has been like applying like cold and wet cloths to Kalia because she kind of got toasted really freaking hard in that last fight. Mm-hmm. So she's probably between like going between like cloths that she has, and she's just like putting them out right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, if you're checking on Kalia, she's got the like anime bandage across the brow, just to, just let you know that she's injured.
Yeah. It's like parts of her body that have not been touched are bandaged up for some reason. Because just applying bandages
because I don't have the medicine skill.
I mean,
I know how this works. Here we go.
Cameron's not going.
This part's important on humans, right?
I put some bandages in your hair. That should do it.
That's a ribbon. Well,
I felt like you needed it.
But in any case, Cameron, it will. If my point is that if Kalia is nearby, Cameron's not going to be deterred by that. It's just going to still be pursuing the conversation unless there's a push to not bring it up. And he will just say, well, this has been a very interesting few days, especially given the fact that we feel both close and far away from getting off this island, Ceto.
It has certainly been a series of detours that have simultaneously been more and less fortuitous than one could expect.
Yeah, I was not expecting to come across, well, an institute of higher learning from my time, let alone one that had these, as Cameron fishes out the stack of journals from his backpack slash messenger bag, whatever Cameron happens to have. It's something. And it's just like, which I figured that these would be of interest to you at some point, if you ever have a chance, whenever you're interested in perusing them, Cito.
I admit my attention was not particularly on anything that you or the others were doing at the time. You'll have to inform me just what it is you have there.
These are journals from the scholars who worked at the university that we were on campus of during that whole thing, in that vault to Pyros. And in particular, the researchers in that facility were researching the gates. And more
Ever the
important,
interesting subject.
more importantly, these are journals that are contemporary to the time leading up to the war. So these are about, I'd say about a century and a half after my time. But this is indicating the type of research that was being done by, well, mortals, and possibly at least being done under the knowledge of Pyros, if not some degree of consent from Pyros. But yeah, there's information about guesses as to how the gates work, why the gates are, etc. And I figured that this is something that of mutual interest to us. So if you need any, if you have any time, you're welcome to this information. Though I will say, while I'm happy to loan out my personal journal for extended periods of time, these I'm feeling more compelled to keep kind of close, as much as I can at the very least.
I see.
More or less, it's like I can loan it to you for a night at a time, but not for like days, like my journal was. But
I will bear that in mind. I'll likely have plenty of time to peruse them while we wait for Talia to recover this evening.
yeah, absolutely. It's weird. There are names in these journals that I recognize. And Cameron would just kind of flip and just sort of like trace his fingers along some of the pages. Names of, well, peers of mine from the time. Not sure. Well, most of these things are written in just family names and the like. So I'm assuming that whoever these people are, those names are either the name's presence is more likely to be coincidence or just someone with a familial relationship rather than being the specific
You expect a
individual's name.
degree of correlation.
Possibly, but correlation does not mean not coincidence, and correlation does not mean causation. So it's tough to know either way. If anything, just seeing the names just sort of creates a certain sentimentality about this stuff. You know, it's like I can't change the. Go ahead.
I can't say that I have any bearing on what it is that you're experiencing. I couldn't even begin to have a guess at that. I will say, however, that if these are names of those that you cared about, then it seems to me that they experienced some degree of success. So I think there's something to take heart in on that note, and perhaps example.
Possibly, yeah. But yeah, I will say that if anything, this has only solidified some of my suspicions about the nature of the war, but we're probably still several sources of information away from making anything conclusive about the how, the why. All we know about something that far back is the aftermath, and as you might know, in the annals of history, frequently the victor is the one who decides what is the truth of what happened. And
Of
while
course.
there can be a comfort in that, while there can be an ease in having that perspective, there can be nuance, other perspectives, or just other facts that are lost in all of that. So I feel that it's once we get off this island, I'd be curious if there's any other ruins of these past academies that are available to investigate.
Quite possibly. Simply because it is relevant, and for no other reason, I will state that this acquisition that I had at the time when you were fiddling around with all of these tomes, it has insights. Insights that are many, varied, and all at once. Sifting through it all is difficult, and I struggle to even comprehend how to explain things. And I don't just mean that in I fail to articulate.
Does Cito actually show the item in question to Cameron?
No.
All right. Cameron's going to blink a few times, and it will say, I am sorry, you made a discovery while we were in the room, other than these journals?
I suppose you all were distracted at the time with that vestigial spirit showing up. But yes, I found I'm going to call it a slate for simplicity. And it has provided me with much more, and more than I can really handle all at once. As I say, it is difficult to find the words, and that is beyond just a matter of articulation. It is of sufficient complexity that it defies description for me at the time.
I will not ask to take it off your hands for, I don't want that. But is it possible to gaze upon it for a moment? Because I'm not sure. There might be a chance I'm familiar with what the technology is.
Cito thinks about this for a moment. Very well. And she'll produce it so that it can be observed, but makes it very clear that she is not going to relinquish it even to hold it.
Cameron will look upon it, and is the object at all familiar?
Okay, it is somewhat similar to you. you have heard of there were experiments being done in using sort of crystalline plates to store information in some way, shape, or form, but you don't know much about them. They were very, 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 very experimental.
At my
They're
time.
sort of almost only really rumored at the time. Sort of like, you know.
Yeah, but
like it was sort of a speculation. Maybe we could do this. That could be kind of interesting.
Right. Yeah. And Cameron will then just simply ask, so when did the, like, in looking upon it does not reveal much information.
Nope, it just looks like a crystalline plate with a bunch of like what looks like a script you actually don't recognize carved into it.
Right. And then Cameron will then just inquire, and you're saying that this information that you've come across, when did that information, enter you, Cito?
As soon as I touched it. Which is
Okay.
why I'm not allowing you to touch it in this moment. It is beyond intense. And I would not risk the possibility of it being dropped in that intensity.
I appreciate the warning, regardless of whether I'm going to be getting my hands on it anytime soon, if at all. But what I will say is that this is, in essence, the one theory that some people had was this notion of the way our brains work is through a series of impulses. And the way information normally gets translated to there is through other senses, our eyes, our sense of hearing or taste and the like. But that requires some degree of an interface and a learning period for the brain to parse it out. But one thought that was being thrown around in, I don't know, the more academic circles than where I was in, was a way of transmitting information directly in the language of the mind itself through just impulses. And much like how we can store a lot of information on the pages of these journals, my guess is that what that object is doing is that whoever is in possession of it is able to retrieve information from it in a way that bypasses any other way you would obtain information, which would explain it being difficult to describe, because it's like trying to describe, taste to someone who can't taste, or colors to someone who has no sight. The way you're gaining the information is likely in a way that is indecipherable yet crystalline in its clarity. Is that an accurate description of it?
I would say that is insufficient enough of a vicinity.
If anything, that's, well, I guess 150 years of technology does really make a difference there.
Oh, the same.
Yeah, Peter, I would assume that Cameron's inferences are at least...
Sure, they work.
Sound. Yeah, they're sound at the very least. I'll try to think of something that's pseudoscientific enough in its description to also be...
That works.
And Cameron will then just add, it's like, you can kind of tell that the manner of thinking from my time is quite a bit different than how things are currently.
Indeed.
Part of me feels that this kind of ties off to the thought about the gates. Perhaps some of the gods were concerned that people in my time were getting access to ways of travel and ways of knowing that skirted too closely to the divine. But at that point, Cameron shrugs. I'm just a college graduate who's just making up stuff that sounds like it makes sense in his head. So what do I know? But in any case, though, when you're at the very least comfortable to share with me what you have learned from that, I'll be happy to listen. But I have a feeling that you're still processing things.
That would be an understatement.
Well, is there anything else I can do to help out with you and Kalia here?
Cito is going to look at the lump of like used wet towels that she has. That to get them outside from here is a bit of a trek.
All right, I'll go.
Save me the trouble of moving on land.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah,
make use of those legs of yours if you'd be so kind.
Yeah, sure thing. Speaking about legs, out of game, Cameron's player is suffering from muscle soreness from
I'm sorry to hear
leg
that.
day.
Nice.
Yeah. There you go.
So
I'm just gonna say I'm basically think we're at sort of a wrap point soon, anyways. So.
Okie doke.
I mean,
Unless there's anything else someone wants to bring up, I was going to say, so it's a good break point. Does anyone else have anything else they want to cover today?
I can't think of anything at the moment.
Okay,
No.
Great. Then I will be able to prep for next time. When what do you guys want to be doing next? Is the question I've got for you. Actually,
Well,
you've got it sort of open. Sort of, there are things I could throw at you next session if I want to, but I wonder what you guys would like to do.
if we kill the dragon, does the portal open? No, just kidding. That's
I will.
Yes.
Probably, actually.
Yeah.
that's a way to that's an
Good
exit.
luck.
That's a. I was gonna say like, listen, okay, listen, it's like, oh, we're just fighting a primordial entity and all of its followers. But what if we did this the Hitman approach, huh?
Let me put it this way: I haven't given the dragon stats.
Nice.
That
means it doesn't have stats. Therefore, we can kill it in one hit. Got it.
Yes.
That's totally how that works. Yes, Sketch.
Like, strictly speaking, we're going to be having at least a day or two of downtime because Kalia needs to recover.
Oh yeah, you guys will have some downtime, absolutely. But
yeah,
It would be kind of weird if all the security personnel, the automated security system of the temple was like, all right, you guys need to leave now. I was like, what the fuck?
out.
well, like you saw what we just did. Come on.
And thank you. That was wonderful, but you got to leave now.
You had your fun in the sun. Now beat it.
No, Kali, you can say the rest. You got to leave.
And now that the danger has passed, we no longer need you here. Goodbye.
But yes, Kalia, you have, as an aside, as I mentioned, you are now officially a champion of Mortis.
Woo!
Therefore, you do get that. You do get the divine challenge ability that I was mentioning earlier.
Yeah, we can workshop that.
Yeah, we'll workshop the actual full write up of it. But yeah.
Cool.
All right. Well, fun.
That's going to do it for this session, folks. We'll work out during the week like what the plan for next session is going to be.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's going to do it for this time, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you're watching us on YouTube, like, subscribe, comment, etc. Pass the tapes around, as it were.
Keep
Dating
circulating.
yourself there.
I'm not old at all. What are you talking about, Eric?
Keep on circulating.
Yep. But yeah, in all seriousness though, guys, thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and we'll see you guys next time. Take care, everybody. Have a great rest of your week.
Goodbye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye. Does Cameron have the jumpsuit?
Jumpsuit.
MST3K reference there, I think. But yeah.
Oh.
I was following through on the one that
the best part is word.
I didn't even notice the reference.
Yeah.
So.
That line actually made it in before I pushed stop recording.
But I will say
So
this.
hold on.